Why is Hollywood in Hollywood? It actually has a lot to do with science. The first film studios settled in Southern California in the early 1900s, in a large part because the climate here is ideal for year-round filming. So you could film a beach scene even in the middle of winter. After all, LA typically gets only around 15 inches of rain a year. For some comparison, New York City got around 45 inches of precipitation in 2017. LA has this dry climate in part because of its latitude, meaning how far north it is from the equator. Due to a quirk of how air masses move around the globe, dry air tends to sink at a latitude of around 30 degrees north. Now, usually clouds form when moist air rises and then cools. That's the exact opposite of what's happening here. Here, dry air sinks, warms up, and then gets pushed away, causing more dry air from above to come swooping down to take its place. This usually leads to dry and sunny weather, which is why most of the deserts in the northern hemisphere are at a latitude of 30 degrees north. Los Angeles is at around 34 degrees north, so it feels some of the effects of this sinking dry air. But that might leave you wondering why, say, South Carolina, which is at a similar latitude, is so humid and prone to thunderstorms. Well, part of the answer has to do with the water temperature. Because the ocean typically circulates clockwise in the northern hemisphere, the west coast is bathed in cold water moving south, while the east coast is bathed in warm water moving north. Because the water's so warm, when ocean breezes hit the east coast, they're usually pretty moist, which leads to humidity and rain. Oh look, a shell. But the pioneers of film didn't just choose Hollywood for its sunshine. They also chose it because it's close to so many different types of environments, like whatever this is. California is really geologically interesting. It's right over the San Andreas Fault, a place where two of Earth's tectonic plates meet. And the state has everything from high mountains to deep valleys, even volcanoes. Film producers didn't have to schlep their crews all the way across the country to film on a beach one day and a mountain the next. Los Angeles was a perfect starting point to film everything from a Western to Tarzan. There are, of course, other reasons LA was chosen by early filmmakers as well. Once the first few production companies came out here, others could come and benefit from the industry that was already springing up. There was trained labor, distribution, and printing facilities, things like that. But it never would have happened if it weren't for the sunshine, the sea breeze, and a landscape that made the perfect canvas for storytelling. Hey guys, the film buffs amongst you might be wondering why I haven't talked about Thomas Edison. So here's the thing. Back in the early days of filmmaking, Thomas Edison started something called the Motion Picture Patents Company that owned the patents to most of the technology involved in making movies at the time. And if you weren't part of the patents company, it could be very difficult for you to actually make movies. So legend has it that the first producers that went to the West Coast went to escape legal action from Thomas Edison, who was on the East Coast. The thing is that I spoke to a film historian who told me that, in fact, the first companies that went to the West Coast were part of the patents company. That being said, I haven't read extensively about the subject, so let me know if I missed something. Leave me a note in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video. See you soon.
Science Magic Show, Science Magic Show, Science Magic Show.